Welcome back everybody, and for those of you who don't know me, my name's Drew and I make videos here on YouTube all about graphic design. I mainly draw on an iPad and use Procreate, and occasionally I'll jump into Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop. So in today's video, we're gonna rebrand the oldest donut shop in my hometown. So the business is called Donut Boy. I mean, such a cool name. I feel like you can have such a cool iconic character for that brand. To start, I just pulled some inspiration from Pinterest, and here's a few things that I found that I'm like, I really like how these look. And so I wanted to make this look like it's been around for a long time, because this donut shop has been around since the 70s. They've got amazing donuts, great products, big fan of theirs, and they're not paying me to do this or to say it. I'm gonna send it to them and maybe they'll use it, maybe not, but it was just a fun project. Mainly, I just love the name Donut Boy. It's great. So here is their original logo, and here's what we're gonna make it into. So without further ado, let's get started. To save time on this video, I cut out my sketching process. I sketched this thing out probably 4 or 5 times before I got something I was happy with. So to begin, we're just gonna roll right with the line art, and we're doing this in Procreate. I'm using my brushes. They're linked below if you want to download them. They're free. I have a video as well on how to install more brushes if you were looking to figure that out. So I'll link that above right here, and let's get to it. Okay, so we're done with the sketching and line art process in Procreate, and the next step, because I want to make this a vector and a full logo package for this brand, I'm going to throw this onto the computer and work on this in Photoshop and Illustrator. And if you don't know what a vector is, it's pretty much a graphic that is made up of lines and curves and shapes instead of pixels. So you can blow it up or shrink it, and no matter what you do to it, it won't lose quality. So that's a great thing about Illustrator. Unfortunately, right now, Procreate does not have the ability to create vectors, so that's why we're gonna jump to the computer for this project. Okay, so I've exported right out of Procreate into Photoshop, which is an amazing feature in that app. And I have all my layers here on the side, which is amazing. So that's what we're gonna do here, is we're gonna take our layers and we're gonna move these into Illustrator, where we're gonna add some text and create the vector. So the first thing I'm gonna copy is this guy here. Okay, and so what I'm doing here is I'm image tracing, so it's gonna outline all these black lines, and this is what turns this graphic into a vector. So I'm clicking ignore white, and then I'm just gonna expand it, and now you can tell that if I shrink this, and I'll zoom in here, that no matter what my lines, I'm very far zoomed in, and you can see how it's not pixelated, where say I were to take this one, this is the original that I didn't image trace. If I go in here, you can just see the difference there. These are pixelated lines, those are vector lines. So it's amazing to work with vectors anytime you're doing a logo. Highly recommend. And I'm actually gonna repaste this in so I have the same size. All right, and we're gonna image trace. Gonna edit a couple of the settings, mainly get rid of the ignore white. I've played around with these thresholds, so we're good to go there, and just expand. Next, we're gonna go back to Photoshop. I'm gonna grab the donut outline, and we're gonna go back into Illustrator. I'm gonna add a layer underneath my donut boy here. We're gonna paste in the donut. I'm gonna image trace again. Ignore the white, expanding, and now we're just gonna shrink both of these down. Actually, you know what? They should be the same size, so. Okay, my donut is going underneath, and these two I'm gonna shrink down. Center them in the artboard, and now I can bring in some color. So to get my color back in, I'm just gonna paint this in using the blob brush, and there's a really easy technique. So I'm under my line art, and you can't tell right now, but as soon as I let up here, all right, it's filled. So now I can paste in the red color. That's not the color, but let's go back to Photoshop. Grab this hex code. Absolutely not sure why that's not. There we go. And I can't remember, what did I have? Okay, I had that inverted. So this is actually going to be white. And we're going to paint in these lines real quick. To make this a little bit easier, I'm just going to lower the opacity of my lines. That way you can see when I'm tracing these in. Okay, now that you see that I turned my line art layer back on all the way, and you can see where I filled these in. So I'm going to select all the blue here, select the same fill color, just going to make them white, and these two black spots are going to be black, and we're good to go. Next we'll move on to the donut. Anybody else get the Microsoft Paint like nostalgia when you do this kind of stuff? Yeah, I totally do. Always used to mess around in Microsoft Paint, so if there's anybody else getting those vibes, let me know. All right, next up we're gonna add our text. So text, I want the text to go behind the hat of the donut boy, so make sure that you have that. We're gonna go with a circle, line that center, type on path. Okay, here we go, donut boy. Next up, to give this text a little bit of, make it pop, I'm just gonna expand it, offset the path a bit. We're gonna go with a round, let's try 10 pixels. Grab that out, paste it in, turn it white, use the Pathfinder, merge all those lines together, and then throw it right back behind. Might be a little bit too much with the, I might try flip-flopping these. Okay, so I'm gonna save it here, and I've got a few other variations to do that I'm just gonna speed through, and we'll check back in and put this logo on some actual props. So it should look really good, and I'm excited to finish this thing up. Finished the vector, and the last thing to do is put together a style guide so I can hand it off to Donut Boy, and if they want to roll with it, they have a guide on how to use it, and we'll throw this logo on some props. So I threw it on a bag for like a to-go bag, a coffee cup because they have great coffee there, and a donut box, of course, because that's probably what they use the most, is donut boxes. So if I get a response from them, I'll probably make another video and just give an update on it, but I'm not expecting to, you know, this is just something I did for fun, to make a video to show everybody how you can take something old and give it a whole new life, and it's not too hard to do. So starting on an iPad, you could do this whole thing in Procreate if you wanted to, but I took it to that next level and made the vector and put it on props in Photoshop. So, and if you want to hang out, see more content like this, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. I'm new to the YouTube game, but I'm making videos like this about 1 to 2 times a week. So I'd love to have you back, and thanks for hanging out, and peace out. Just a blast, donut boy. I need some donuts now.